We live in a world where everyone wants instant results. You want to get in shape, but you want a routine where you can get a six pack in 30 days. You want to start a YouTube channel, but you want to blow up and hit 100,000 subscribers in your first year. You want to read more, but you want to finish one book a week. Somehow, this has become the new norm. You see everyone trying to become a millionaire in a year or do XYZ in a year. Social media has really hammered this mindset into everyone now, and the new reality is that if you don't accomplish all of your goals in a ridiculously short amount of time, you're a failure and everyone else is doing everything better than you, and it sucks. But the biggest mindset shift that I've ever had in my entire life happened earlier this year when I finally, fundamentally accepted the harsh truth that, well, good things take time. It sounds like common sense, but let me tell you a story. I've always struggled to gain weight and have been relatively skinny for most of my life, and it frustrated me. I could never gain weight, and I was always embarrassed at the fact that I didn't have a lot of muscle and wasn't the physique that everyone admired and longed for. I would go as far as to eat 4,000 calories some days just to do whatever I could to hopefully have a chance at gaining weight, and it still never worked, which made me feel absolutely terrible. But around the end of 2023, that shift that I spoke about earlier started to take place. I was still consistently working out a decent amount and was eating as much as I could and tracking all of my calories, but I realized something. Who the hell was I racing? Why was I in constant mental anguish about my weight when the only person that it really mattered to was me? I was always disappointed in my progress when I compared to the people that I wanted to be like, but why did these people matter in the first place? While getting in shape was a good goal for me, who set the guideline that I needed to do it in less than a year? Why did I have all of this pressure on me? Because there was nobody giving me that pressure in the first place. And that's the point of this video. Good things like getting strong, developing your social skills, and pursuing your interests and passions, takes time. And if you keep rushing it, you're going to lose interest and probably make even less progress than you would if you just slowed down. Now I'm in the gym 5 to 6 times per week, taking fitness classes with my girlfriend every once in a while, eating as healthy as possible and trying to reach my calorie goal as often as I can. I'm not stressing myself out and shoving 4,000 calories into my face just to gain some weight, and I'm not comparing myself to what I want to look like, but to how I did around this time last year. And ironically, now I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in. I've accepted the fact that good things take time, and I see every step towards the goals that I have as a win. Because if I just focus on the goal, it still seems far away, but if I compare it to how far I've come, that journey looks a lot more impressive. Like I said, this mindset shift is genuinely the most impactful change that I've ever had with how I think about things, and if you can adopt this way of thinking, it could genuinely change your life. So what does this look like in real terms? Well, start by thinking about your goal. What's something that you want to do? What type of person do you want to become? Where do you think you have the most room for improvement in your life? Pinpoint these things, and that's the first step of your journey. Now it's time to act. Whatever the goal is, write it down. Maybe you, like me, want to get in better shape. Maybe you want to learn to play an instrument or to code or to improve your social skills. It could literally be anything. Now, set aside time to work towards that goal every single week. Set aside 30 minutes a day for your guitar lessons or plan time in your daily schedule to work out 2 to 3 times per week. Pick a number that's extremely easy for you to do, or this won't work. Because I know how it is sometimes. You see something that motivates you and you think, okay, now I'm going to learn to code for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, and within 3 months I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be a whole new person. But that's the entire point of this video. You don't want to do that. Do the bare minimum that you're confident you can complete. Whether it's only 10 minutes a day or 10 hours per week, pick a time that you can stick with and do the tasks that get you towards your goal during this time consistently. Make it so easy to accomplish that it's almost comical, like sitting down and studying Spanish for 5 minutes a day. Because your goal isn't to become fluent in Spanish by studying for 5 minutes a day. Your goal is to develop the habits that will allow you to actually utilize this skill more often and actually get better at it. We, hopefully at least, have 70 years on this earth to develop our skills, find our passions, and accomplish our goals. So why do you think you need to do it in such a short amount of time? George R.R. Martin wrote A Game of Thrones, the first book of 5, in 5 years. In fact, the entire series took him over 20 years of writing to complete. If he tried to do it in 2 years, the series would be a shell of what it eventually became. Isaac Newton actually took 21 years to come up with his laws of motion and gravity. The apple didn't just fall from the tree and he's like, oh, look, gravity. No, it took him 2 decades to even come up with the concept. It took 20 years of growth and experiences to establish his ideas. And I know that the idea of gravity and Game of Thrones seem like very impactful things, but even less meaningful things that are good take a long time. You know pop sockets, those stupid little things that go on the back of your phone? Yeah, it took 4 years from the time that the idea popped into the creator's head until it was available to buy on the market. And that's for a piece of silicone that attaches on your phone. So you expect a perfectly shredded body or a massive YouTube channel to pop into your life in a matter of months? Yeah, you gotta reframe that. Now that you get the general idea of how you should think, you probably have a concern. Sure, this sounds great in theory, but how do I remain motivated and not lose hope when I don't see the progress that I want? And that's another problem. The modern era makes feedback so easy. If you post, you see views and follower counts go up. If you have a question, you shoot your friend a text and get his feedback. We have instant responses to any questions or concerns that we have, and we can use this to project how well we're doing. But this also creates some problems. When you compare the quality of your work to someone else, you kind of feel bad when theirs is better than yours. Even if you spent double the amount of time, you'll always find someone else who did better than you in less time. This can often discourage you from continuing, and it causes you to lose sight of those goals that you've been trying to follow in the first place. So stop comparing yourself to others. Do you care about their goals? Then why do you care about their progress? To make this sustainable and actually stay on track, your only comparison should be where you were a year ago. Do you look slightly better than you did back then? Are you slightly happier? Well, then you've made progress and you're doing great. Sure, the guy over there may be moving a lot faster than you, but he's a sprinter and you are now a marathon runner. You guys aren't even playing the same game, so why do you get mad when he's faster than you? So in short, good things take time, and if you use this as a framework, I really do have hope that you can make improvements and changes in your life that put you in a better place day after day. Do you think this is easier said than done? Do you have other tips for how to slow down and stay focused? Let's see what you think in the comments. Feel free to buy me a coffee using the link in the description if you enjoyed this talk, and we will talk again soon.